Imagine this. What if a courtroom was more like a stage, with TV cameras shaping the drama? Could a trial be more about optics than justice? Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Brianne. How's it going, Allie?
I'm good. It's that weird in-between weather where I need a hoodie at 8 a.m. and then, a sun hat by noon. My wardrobe is confused. My soul is confused.
I wore boots and regretted it by lunch. Choices were made, mistakes were learned.
Welcome to The Veil, Unsolved and Unbelievable. Today we're diving into the Pamela Smart trial. A media circus or a quest for justice?
Conspiracy alert, or, a very tragic murder case that got a lot of TV time. Let's see where you take this.
Okay, so check this out. Back to the facts. In May 1990, Greg Smart was found murdered in his condo in Derry, New Hampshire. At first, police thought it looked like a burglary gone wrong. Pretty quickly, though, the story shifted. Investigators concluded it was staged, and that 15-year-old William "Billy" Flynn, with friends Patrick Randall, Vance Ladime Jr., and Raymond Fowler, carried out a planned killing. Pamela Smart, Greg's wife, was 22 and working as a media coordinator at Winnacunnet High. She met Flynn through Project Self-Esteem and later admitted to an affair. She called it terrible judgment and said she tried to end it. The state claimed she manipulated a minor to murder her husband, to avoid a costly divorce, and to collect about $140,000 in life insurance. She denies orchestrating the killing.
Worth noting the charges: accomplice to first-degree murder, conspiracy to murder, and witness tampering. Accomplice to first degree basically means you intentionally aid a premeditated murder. Conspiracy is agreeing to do it plus an overt act. Witness tampering is trying to influence or stop a witness. Heavy stuff.
Here's what went down next. An anonymous tip pointed police to a student intern, Cecilia Pierce. She wore a wire and secretly recorded conversations with Pamela. Those tapes became pivotal. Then there's the arrest moment captured on tape in the school parking lot. Detective Daniel Pelletier tells Pamela, "We've solved the murder of your husband. The bad news is you're under arrest." That soundbite was everywhere. The case became one of the first U.S. trials with TV cameras in the courtroom, and the whole country watched in real time. After a 14-day trial in March 1991, she was convicted and got mandatory life without parole. Prosecutors didn't pursue capital murder. The teen co-conspirators cut deals and later got parole eligibility. Flynn and Randall were released on June 4, 2015 to lifetime supervision. Ladime received lifetime parole earlier. Fowler's parole was revoked and later reinstated. Pamela was transferred in 1993 to Bedford Hills in New York, a maximum security women's prison, with officials citing security concerns for a high-profile inmate. The transfer was described as commissioner to commissioner. Her family said they weren't told, and a state official later noted she accrued 22 disciplinary reports, mostly minor. Years of appeals failed. A federal habeas petition was rejected in 2002 and denied again on appeal in 2004. A 2005 pardon request was unanimously denied. In 2023, the state Supreme Court dismissed her challenge to the governor's denial of a commutation hearing. And in 2024, she released a statement accepting limited responsibility in the sense of saying she should have seen the signs, while still maintaining she didn't plan the murder.
Also, the media footprint never stopped. TV movies, the novel and film To Die For, true crime shows, and HBO's Captivated in 2014, which really dug into the camera question. It's been a public case from day one.
All right, moving on. My theory time. And yeah, I know it's fringe, but hear me out. I think the camera access wasn't just transparency. It functioned like choreography, not a written pact or cartoon villain collusion, but an informal alignment where state and media incentives clicked into place to stage-manage optics. The moment TV trucks rolled up, priorities shifted. Show the tapes. Frame the teenage gunman as manipulated. Stay tight on Pamela's face. Deliver the emotional arc the public will understand.
Wait. Are you saying the government plotted with the networks?
Not like a secret memo. I'm saying incentives lined up. Look at the scaffolding. One of the first trials with cameras, producers chasing reaction shots, That arrest line crafted like a trailer tag. The prosecution's backbone was teen witnesses with plea deals. That's a ready-made narrative for nightly news. Then you've got Cecilia's wire. Those recordings don't just inform a jury, they play to living rooms, reinforcing a national script before the verdict ink is dry. And after the conviction, the story kept getting polished in pop culture. A TV movie, then To Die For with a megastar, then decades of specials. So when clemency is even whispered, the public memory is already a loop of the same beats. Her transfer to New York was explained as a security move. Officials cited disciplinary reports while the family said they weren't notified. Those mixed explanations breed suspicion. To me, it looks like a system that understood the power of optics and kept using it.
Or it looks like a high-profile inmate being moved for safety. Sorry, not sorry. Also, courts reviewed this, her federal habeas was denied, and the appeals court agreed there's no judicial finding that cameras poisoned the verdict. The tapes and the teen's testimony were the core evidence. Cameras don't create that out of thin air.
Sure, but jurors are human. Cameras change behavior. When the whole country is watching, everyone leans into performance. Prosecutors pick punchier lines, defense looks defensive, witnesses feel pressure. And the plea deals for the teens are huge incentives. If the state's star storytellers benefit by telling one version, the broadcast megaphone makes that version the only version most people ever hear. That fossilizes into reality.
Let's put a pin in the vibes and look at structure. Plea bargains are standard. You trade cooperation for reduced exposure. It's messy, but common. The state didn't even go for capital murder, which undercuts this idea of theatrical overreach. And parole for the teens followed statutory processes. Flynn and Randall did more than 2 decades before lifetime supervision. That's not media magic, that's sentencing math.
Back to the story. Consider this counterfactual. What if Cecilia had refused to wear a wire? Without those recordings, could the state have proven Pamela's foreknowledge beyond reasonable doubt? Those tapes were broadcast endlessly. They shaped public understanding pre-verdict and then forever after. And what if there hadn't been TV cameras? Would the pressure to produce a tidy narrative have been less intense?
Maybe, but courts exist to handle exactly that. Rules of evidence, cross-examination, jury instructions. And again, no appellate court said this was trial by TV. If anything, the case sits in that uncomfortable place where 2 things can be true. The media amplified it massively, and the legal process still met constitutional thresholds. Sensational doesn't automatically mean rigged.
Here's the deal. I'm not saying a hidden hand wrote a script. I'm saying the lens had gravity. From the arrest soundbite to the courtroom close-ups to the docudramas, the optics created a current that pulled everyone along. Prosecutors, jurors, the public, even later decision-makers staring down clemency headlines. Once a story calcifies, it's almost impossible to crack it back open.
And I'm saying we should separate 3 layers. 1, the murder happened. Flynn shot Greg Smart, and the scene was staged as a burglary. 2, the legal case. Co-conspirators testified, tapes were admitted, a jury convicted, and appeals failed. 3, the media hurricane. Yes, it shaped public memory, but shaping memory and proving collusion are not the same. I call BS on a grand alignment being the engine of the verdict.
Okay, next up, final pitches. My theory says informal choreography mattered. The cameras didn't just watch, they nudged. Out-of-state transfers with fuzzy explanations, a family saying they weren't notified, and decades of pop culture echo make me believe optics weighed on everything from the mood in that courtroom to the climate around clemency.
My final is simpler. Media glare was a factor in perception, sure, but the conviction stands on admissible evidence and testimony reviewed by multiple courts. The different sentences reflect roles, ages, and plea deals, not a staged show. Cameras or not, the legal outcomes track with standard practice.
Bigger question to chew on? Can media ever be truly objective? Or does the act of looking always bend the picture a little?
Probably bends it. The point is, we should notice the bend and account for it.
If you want to dig deeper, watch HBO's Captivated, The Trials of Pamela Smart. It really unpacks the media piece.
Right, after this I'm making tea and not turning on a single camera. Irony noted.
I'm going to doom scroll, then immediately regret it and water my plants as penance. Balance.
Thanks for listening. Question everything, especially the obvious bits.
Stay curious, stay kind, and we'll see you beyond the veil.